Hey guys, this week's video is dedicated to all the brothers and sisters of the land of Israel and all around the world. I want to start off by wishing a huge mazel tov to Leah Friedman and Mike on their marriage last week. May you establish a beautiful home, health, happiness, and on the foundations of Torah, mitzvot. Huge mazel tov. Purim is coming up. If you haven't signed up yet, don't wait to do so. Monday night, the early bird ends, so jump on there because the early bird gets a better deal. This week's Torah Parsha, Mishpatim, is in very strong contrast to last week, Parsha Yisro. Parsha Yisro, last week's Torah portion, we received the Torah at Mount Sinai. We became the Jewish nation. And it was done with huge pomp and circumstance. Thunder, lightning, it was a historic event. Everybody was there. It was came with a lot of noise and thunder. It was amazing. And then the very next Torah portion, boom. What do we have? A parsha that is jam-packed with mitzvah. Commandments. 53 commandments. 10% of all the Torah's commandments are in this week's Torah portion. Mainly dealing with civil law. How we interact with each other, damages, etc. There are tractates of Talmud that are based on this week's Torah portion. But it seems like such a contrast. Came from this huge spiritual high with this revelation of God, and now boom, right into, don't do this, don't do that. If you hurt somebody, you have to pay. Set up, a court system. But if you think about it, this is the very lesson that God is telling the Jewish people. Yes, I'm giving you my beautiful treasure, the Torah. But if you want to be a holy nation, it's not going to be in the huge inspirational moments. Those are beautiful. It has to be translated into action. Inspiration has to be immediately translated into action. Living as a Jew is not once a year or twice a year at certain events or at the synagogue dinner or whatever, or on Yom Kippur. It's a day-to-day existence. It's how we live our life. Not just when we're praying or doing something spiritual, how we go about our business, how we interact with people, how we live as a society. And the Torah is telling us, a good society, a holy society, here's how you set it up. Courts and laws and rules and making sure that you look out for each other. All these beautiful commandments that build a society worth living in. It's the day-to-day how we treat each other. I want to share a beautiful story that I heard just yesterday. Coming up is the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Rabbi Josh Gordon. He was the head Chabad rabbi in the Valley, San Fernando Valley in California. And now there are many Chabad centers there. And he's probably most well known for his classes on Chabad.org. Tens of thousands of people listen to his classes on Maimonides, Chumash, Tanya, every single day. I listen to his classes every single day. But I want to share with you a beautiful story that really demonstrates what it means to live and interact day to day and translate from the great to the little. It was in 1998 and he was invited to give the keynote address. He was the guest speaker at a local Jewish day school at the dinner. This was a fundraiser. And so he shows up and the person at the door didn't recognize who he was. So he said, "Sir, Rabbi, I don't see you on the list of guests here as having bought a ticket, and this is a fundraiser, so really you need to buy a ticket in order to come in." Can you imagine? He's the keynote address. He's the guest of honor. But he didn't say, "Can I see your manager?" He didn't get upset. He didn't say, "I'm Rabbi Gordon. I am the reason why I'm what's bringing people here for the fundraiser." No, nothing. He didn't even roll his eyes, nothing. He simply took out his checkbook, wrote a check for $75, gave it to him, said thank you very much, and went inside and delivered the keynote. And can you think about that? That's what it means the day to day. Not the big, when you're giving a big sermon and you're doing this or you're doing that, or those are important too. Those are beautiful. It's how we treat each other every single day. The little things, quote unquote, because there's really nothing little. That's what God was telling the Jewish people. I delivered you this treasure with all this pomp and circumstance. But if you want to be a holy nation, it's the day to day. How you build a society. What kind of world do you want to live in? Every single day. Shabbat Shalom.